What's up, family? Today I'll be breaking down Apex payout parameters. A lot of people are taking advantage of Apex right now, and I want to ensure that you guys are able to take out payouts with no confusion. You know all the rules you have to abide by in order to take your payouts consistently, so we all can go ahead and get paid. Now, first things first, I will be breaking down all of these rules pretty quickly and pretty much giving you guys a good summary and highlight of all of the rules. Please go read it yourself. As if I'm not doing this video, read it yourself. Be a manager of your account. Be responsible for your account. Make sure you understand all the rules inside out. So when it comes to payout time, you're not sitting there looking confused as to why you can't get a payout. Right. So let's go and get into the rules. First things first, Apex payout split percentage. You are entitled to 25 to 100% of every dollar you make, up until $25,000 of your per account, right? So after that, they take 90%. So you're in really good hands when it comes to all the money you make, bro. That's your cash, right? So on the PA account, on the live account, right? So just keep that in mind. Your first $25,000 is yours. Now, in order for you to take a payout, you must trade for 8 trading days. There's 5 trading days in a week, so we're talking about 8 business days. Out of these 8 business days, at least 5 of them must show $50 or more, right? So if you have 5 days of $200, you're good. 5 days of $51, you're good, right? You have to have those 5 days. And in order for you to take a withdrawal in your first 3 payouts, you must build your safety net. And your safety net is your drawdown plus $100. So if we're talking about a $25,000 account, your drawdown is $1,500. Plus 100, we're talking about $1,600. For a 50K account, your drawdown is $2,500. Plus 100, we're talking about $2,600 in drawdown. So when you first get your live account, you have to make you have to make your drawdown plus $100 before you're able to take a withdrawal. Once you do that, you can take a withdrawal literally immediately, as long as you, like I said, follow these rules of 8 days plus 5 days of at least $50 or more. Now let's go deeper into the details of all of these rules. Now the first rule is the consistency rule. Now, one single day cannot generate more than 30% of all the profit accumulated in your account, right? What that means is if you made $1,000, one day cannot be more than $300. That's 30%. Now it's really easy to be able to calculate how much you have to make in order to understand where you are. So basically, what you want to do is your highest profit day. So let's say your highest profit day is $1,000. Let's say today I made $1,000. Well, in order for me to take a payout, you have to do this formula, right? You want to divide it by 0.3, and that will give you the minimum total required, excuse me, in order to take a withdrawal. So take $1,000 divided by 0.30. Now, in order to take a withdrawal, I must have $3,333 in my account in order to take a withdrawal, right? If my highest paid day is, let's say, you go and you make a $2,000 day, well, congratulations, but you're going to have to make $6,000 before you get your withdrawal, 6,666 to be exact. So keep that in mind, right? So as you trade, I would advise, and one thing I will say for all of these rules, even though there are quite a bit of rules, it is simple. If you just trade with consistently, you're never going to have to worry about it. Let's say you just risk the same amount every day. You go for a 1 to 2 to 1 to 3 every single day. You're not going to have to worry about none of these rules, right? They're going to easily, you're not even going to have to think about them, right? But keep that in mind. Your highest day, you divide that by 0.3, and that is the minimum you must have in order to take a withdrawal. Next rule, the safety net required is for your first 3 payouts, right? So after your 4th payout, you don't have to worry about that safety net. Again, the safety net for the $25,000 account is $1,500 plus 100. So we're talking about $1,600. For the 50K account, it is $2,600. Any account after that, you can just do the math, look at your drawdown, and add $100. That is your safety net. You must have a safety net in your account in order to take a withdrawal for your first 3 withdrawals, right? After that, it doesn't matter. You can withdraw as much as you want, right? Don't have to leave a safety net. You can do whatever you want to do. Now, when you take Like, let's say, for example, with the 25K account, you're drawing on the $1,600, your safety net is $1,600. Immediately, you can take a $500 withdrawal and leave $1,100 in there as your safety net, right? If you make more than that, you can take more, but you must leave that $1,100 there as your safety net, right? And then so on and so forth for the 50K account, same thing. And this kind of gives that a lot. That same example. If you're on the 50K account and you make 52.6, right? You can take a $500 withdrawal and leave the account with 52,100. And now that $2,100 is your drawdown left to trade with. So just keep that in mind. Even after your third withdrawal, you want to leave some type of buffer in order for you to be able to, keep trading with space and have that leverage so you're not stressing. So here's just a quick sheet of the minimum balance in order to request a payout for your first 3 withdrawals. For a 25K account, it's 26.6. For a 50K account, it's 25.6. For a 100K account, it's 103.1, right? And so on and so forth. You can screenshot this. I don't have to read it all to you guys. And also, there is a maximum payout you can receive within your first 5 payouts. Now, with this one, I'm not sure if it's your first 5 or your first 3. I believe they updated it to your first 3, but I will say, once after your third payout, you can ask them and request, like, hey, is this still my maximum payout, or can I take more? And again, guys, this is every 8 days. So for a 50K account, you can take out $2,000 per account every 8 days. There's about 2 to 3 2 to 3 sets of 8-day trading days, if that makes sense. So we're talking about 8 trading days. That's a week and a half, right? You have about 2 to 3 of those in a month. So with for 150K account, you're able to take about $4,000 to $6,000 per month. Now, this is only your first month, guys. This is only your first 5. Even if we go worst case scenario, this is only your first 5 payouts. After that, there is no maximum you can take. You can take as much money as you please after your 5th payout. All right, again, I believe it's the 3rd, but just going off the basic rules, 5th payout, you're able to take as much money as you want. So put it like this: if you have 10 50K accounts, you're able to take $20,000 every 8 days. That is about $40,000 to $60,000 every month. If you max allocate and you have 20 50K accounts, you're able to take $40,000 every 8 days. We're talking about $80,000 to $120,000 every single month. The sky is literally the limit. And once that is over, once your first 5 payouts is over, you can take as much money as you want out of Apex. So put it like this: you don't have to shoot for the moon, especially with a 50K account or a 25K account. If we just go for a 50K account, right? If every 8 days your max payout is 2,000, if you were to make $400, let's break this down. Let's break $2,000 down into 8 days, 8 trading days. You just have to make $250 a day, and your $2,000 payout is guaranteed. So you don't have to shoot for the moon in order to do what you got to do with payouts. Now, to qualify for 100% payouts, you must get your first 5 payouts approved, and starting from your 6th payout, you can get 100% of your profit withdrawn, right? So, just literally just follow the rules. After the 6th payout, you're good. Again, guys, I believe it's the 4th, but I'm just going to go based off of what we're reading, in case they didn't update their site yet. And, we're just going to go off of that. So now, again, if you have multiple accounts, each account operates independently. So if you have 10 accounts, just like I said, if you have 10 50K accounts and you withdraw 2,000 from each account every 8 trading days, that is a total of $20,000 every 8 trading days. The sky is the limit, right? Now, guys, also some of the other rules you cannot do is you do not trade without risk management, right? So you want to put a stop loss on all your trades. Now, they don't really, stop you if you don't have a stop loss, but you definitely want to be smart with that and have some type of stop loss. Now, high risk strategies, they actually have a specific rule with that. And with the high risk strategies, essentially what that means is, for example, you cannot be in a trade where you're risking a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio, right? So we're talking about a situation where you're risking $5, right, to make $1. They're not jacking that, bro. And as a trader, why would you risk $5 to make $1? That it's like putting a minus 2,000 parlay or something. Like, it just doesn't make any sense. So you don't want to do that. Also, one of the key things that they have with Apex is a trailing drawdown. These are the main rules, right? And I just want to quickly go over the trailing drawdown to make sure we understand that. That one is very, very key. So this is what the trailing drawdown is with Apex. So as you are trying to make your safety net, right? So let's just say we're dealing with a 25K account, right? If you're dealing with a $25,000 account, right, your safety net is $1,600. So your drawdown is 1.5K, right? So we're talking about, and sorry because I'm having to draw this out, but we're talking about 1.5K, right? And then also here, we're talking about 1.5K for your trailing drawdown to stop. Now, what is a trailing drawdown? Now, guys, you can only lose, even though you have a $25,000 account, you cannot lose $25,000. Just think about that. That would be insane. These accounts cost $100, bro. Less than that. So why would they give you $25,000 to lose? What this does is you only have $1,500 to lose with the 25K account, period. So when you first start the account, you cannot go, and we're talking about, if we're talking about 25,000, right, minus 1.5K, we are talking about 23,000.5, right, 23,500. I'll just draw it out just so there's no confusion, right? So when you start trading, they move their trailing drawdown based off the high point. Now, guys, I'm going to go through this one time. You may have to rewind the video if you're confused, right? Because this is the part that confuses a lot of people, but it is simple. So essentially, as you go up in profit, let's just say you make $500. You make $500, right? So now your account is at 25.5, right? Now your account is at 25. You're up plus 500. Your drawdown also increases by $500. That is the way trailing drawdown works. Let me grab this. This also increases $500, right? So now you cannot go below 24,000. If you go below 24K, you lose your account. You have to buy a new challenge and start all over again with your account. Now, Apex does this based off of high water mark, meaning the highest point your profit was ever on a trade. So let's say you were up $500 on this trade, but unfortunately, the trade pulled back and stopped you at break even. So your balance is still 25K. However, because your max profit was $500, guess what? You cannot go below 24,000. So your drawdown is no longer here. Now it's up here. So you need to keep that in mind as you're trading. That's why I say go for 1 to 2s, go to 1 to 3s. Keep your trading very simple. I have never had to deal with this problem. And guys, I'm trading on like 10, 50K accounts right now, and I haven't blown one due to trailing drawdown. It ain't that hard if you have a profitable strategy. Now, the good thing is, as you continue to trade, right? So let's say, boom, I'm up. Let's say I make another 500. Because it's based off my highest point, this does not move until I go past that high watermark. So let's say, boom, I make some more money. Now, I'm up 1,000. Let's say now I'm up 1,000, right? Let's delete this. Oops, excuse me. Delete this, right? So let's say now I'm up 1K. Now, if I'm up 1K, my high watermark goes up also. It continues to follow me, right? So now, whether I took my profit on 1K or not, if my highest point is I was up 1K, meaning my balance said 26,000, my drawdown is now at 24.5, right? Now my drawdown is at 24, right? $500. Now, guys, this is the thing about this trailing drawdown. Once you build your buffer, you make your drawdown, meaning once your account gets up 1.5K, so you're at the balance of 26.5, right? 26,500. Your drawdown becomes your beginning balance, and it never follows you again. So even if you take this account to 28,000, it doesn't matter. Your drawdown does not keep following you, right? It does not keep following you. It stays at 25K, right? So if unfortunately you start taking mad losses and your account goes now back to 25K, you lost the account. Sayonara, buy a new one, right? Now, I will tell you this, and that's why they make you keep the buffer, right? That's why they make you keep your buffer. So when you're up, 20, so when you make your safety net, meaning you're at 25 instead of, sorry, not 25. When you're at 26, 6, because remember, you have to be $100 above. So when you get to the point where you're up 26,600, you can take a $500 withdrawal, right? And if you're up more than that, you can take a bigger withdrawal. But at this point, you can take a minimum of $500, right? This is so annoying having a draw, but I'm willing to do it for you guys because we all have to win. So you can take a $500 withdrawal, and now your balance will be at 26,1. Guys, your drawdown is still at 25K. That's why they make you keep that buffer, right? Because if you took all your money and you don't got no money to trade with. You know what I'm saying? So that's why they make you keep your buffer. Even if you make more money and you get to the point where you took 3 withdrawals, you no longer have to keep a safety net. Guys, leave some type of buffer, because the moment your account goes back to a starting balance, you're cooked. The account is clipped, right? That is the only rules you have to worry about with Apex. Oh yeah, there's another one. There's another one. There's a couple actually. Here's another rule. If you are depending on what account size you're trading. If you're trading the 25K, right? For the 25K, guys, remember, you can use 4 contracts. And when you're signing up for Apex, it says it. When you come to the Apex account and you come here and try to sign up, right? You see how it says trade evade? Oh shoot. Here we go. You see it says 4 micro contracts, right? I don't know why it's moving so fast. I wish I can turn it to the side. I guess it just does that by itself. Let's refresh it real quick. 1 second. Because I want to try to see real quick before it starts moving. Okay, well, regardless. A 50K account, you see it says 10 micros. That's your max contracts. And for every account, regardless of what account size you get, there's a max amount of contracts you can trade with, right? For every account, for the 250K account, your max contracts is 27 contracts, right? Here's the thing. Until you make your drawdown, guys, you can only use half of that. Again, for your 25K account, we're talking about 4 contracts. Let's come back to our little diagram over here. It's talking about 4 contracts. Until you make your $1,600 safety net, you can only use half, so you can only use 2 contracts. Do not use more than that. You're going to break your rules, and you're not going to be able to get a payout. Same thing with the 50K. With the 50K, your max contract is 10 contracts. So you cannot use more than 5 until you make your safety net. Once you make your safety net, you can do whatever you want to do, and you can use more contracts, right? Another rule that they have, I feel like this, I think this is the last one that's key, is you cannot lose more than 30% of all your drawdown in one day. So for a 25K account, right? For 25K, your drawdown is, you guessed it, $1,500, right? Use $1,500. So if I divide this by 3, that gives me $1,500 divided by 3. You cannot lose more than $500 in one trade. Not in one day, in one trade. So that means there's no time. Dang, I should have been able to do that math. That's ridiculous. It's midnight, guys. Don't judge me. $500. You cannot lose more than $500 in one trade. Now, guys, you shouldn't be losing more than $500 in a trade on a 25K account ever, right? Now, there's a bit of rules. You cannot lose more than 30% of all your drawdown in one day. One trade, sorry. You can lose it in one day, but not one trade. You cannot make more than 30% of all your profit in one day. You can always have your contracts. You have to make your safety net. There's all these rules. Guys, it is simple. Let me tell you how to be able to simply trade without thinking about your rules and knowing you're never going to break any of them. Guys, listen. Risk 0.5 to 1%. That's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. Risk 0.5 to 1%. And you're never going to break no rules. How can you break a rule? How can you break a rule doing that? Right? 0.5 to 1% per trade. Go for a 1 to 2 or 3 risk to reward. How can you break any of the rules doing this? You can't. It's real simple. Apex just wants you to be a simple, structured trader. Don't shoot for the moon. This ain't a casino. And don't become an overly gambling alcoholic and risking everything trying to change your life overnight. Just risk your 1 to 2, 1 to 3, take 2, 3 trades a day, man. Call it a day. Keep it real simple. If you have a profitable strategy, you will get paid. The key in this is to have multiple accounts and milk them. Milk them for everything they got, family. Right? So as long as you follow these rules, they will not deny your payouts. Do not give them a reason to deny your payouts. That's why you got to think about Apex is so cheap. That's why they got all these rules. So there's an easy way to deny your payout because, ooh, you broke this rule, you broke this rule. Don't go for that. Keep it real simple, keep it real easy, and get paid. Make sure you come and read all these rules in the Apex. It's all in the site. If you go to the Apex site, you come right here to the FAQs, you can't miss a beat. Just type in payout. It's going to say right here. Payout method instructions, if you have a question about that. Payout parameters, this is where you find all the rules. Right? So that is all, guys. That is it. This is real simple. Let's go ahead and get this money, man. If you have any questions, make sure you reach out. I love each and every one of y'all, man. Let's go ahead and get rich. 2026 is around the corner, but we got 3 more days, man. Let's go ahead and time to turn it up, man.